Alright guys, so I haven't really posted any videos for a while, but I felt like I just wanted to give y'all some just the interesting bits about this Orlando shooting that happened today, and I just wanted to share a couple of quick bits of information and uh, some of my thoughts about this. Now, I just want to say first and foremost, I don't have a problem with gay people. I actually used to be a DJ. Okay, I'm familiar with being around gay people and being around clubs and stuff. I, when I first heard about this thing, I had a lot of different thoughts, but one of my main things that I was thinking is, man, is I hope the DJs are okay, because obviously this is something that hits close to home. So what we know straight away is that over 50 people were killed by a shooter with some kind of assault weapon, probably like an AR-15, if it goes like any of these other stuff that we've seen in the past. Now, what we do know is that this guy was a U.S. citizen who was born to parents who are from Afghanistan. All right. And apparently, several hours before this attack happened, or maybe even sooner than that, he called 911 to let them know that he was pledging allegiance to the Islamic State, and I guess like he was going to create an act of terror in their name or whatever. And somehow, we're supposed to believe, with all of this technology that we have, after a man makes a phone call like that they couldn't find him and they couldn't prevent this from happening. Okay. Now, there's another article that I read. And I don't know how credible any of these sites are, so I'm just going to put it out there. But it's on Gawker. And apparently, they're saying that his father is some kind of lunatic conspiracy theorist who's claiming on Facebook to be the real president of Afghanistan. So, obviously, my initial thoughts on this thing is A, he targeted a gay club, so this is going to push the liberal agenda, right? Of course, there's another mass shooting with ties to Islamic terror, so you got the Islamic terror aspect to this thing, right? And um, uh, also, there was a guy who was on air on a radio show. You can look up the videos on it. And this guy was trying to, he was giving out information about the shooting because he was there. And he actually claimed that there was another person who was at the door of the clubs blocking the door, keeping the people from getting out, even though they're trying to call this guy a lone wolf. Right? And apparently, not only that, but at some point a while back, I guess it was ISIS, released a whole big list of people they were going to kill. And a bunch of the people's names lived in Orlando. And let's not forget that what's her name? Grammy, that voice contestant, was murdered just yesterday in Orlando. And apparently, somebody else was trying to cause another mass shooting thing at another gay event in California today, but apparently the cops managed to foil this one somehow miraculously before it happened. So, like I said, the initial thing that I saw was the trifecta, right? Push the liberal agenda, push to be afraid of the terrorist, and push more gun control, right? But now you got this whole thing with his dad being a crazy conspiracy theorist who claims to be the real president of Afghanistan. And now it's like, okay, so now we can go after the conspiracy theorist, right? Us, the people who actually believe in the damn truth. Now, just something else. I think this is important. Apparently, this dude worked for this company called G4S Security. I never heard of it before. He was a security guard there. And apparently, he had coworkers who was tweeting that he was telling his bosses there that this dude he hated black people, he hated gay people, he was doing all sorts of, racial slurs and this and that. And he kept telling about it, and he said they wouldn't do anything because he was Muslim. Now, I was just curious what the hell this company was. And I find it interesting that I just found this article right here, actually at Vanity Fair. It's talking about the Chaos Company. And it's talking about wherever governments can't or won't maintain order, from oil fields in Africa to airports in Britain and nuclear facilities in America, the London-based global security behemoth G4S has been filling the void. It is the world's third largest private sector employer and commands a force 3 times the size of the British military. All right? So, y'all can look more into this if you want. I'm not going to dig more into it. But it looks to me, from what I'm reading here, that this dude basically worked for one of the biggest private armies in the world. All right, this dude was on the terror watch list since 2013, and they still let him buy guns legally. Okay, even knowing that he worked for this company, which means more than likely he probably had some kind of link to something in the government. I mean, it sounds like it to me. You can't tell me it's coincidence that he basically worked for one of the biggest private armies in the world. They refused to fire him or do anything. They let him buy guns legally while he's on the terror watch list. And then he goes out and kills all these people after he tells them he's going to do it, basically ahead of time. Now, not only this, and I'm just bringing this up just to make a point. Now look, all loss of life is equal. Don't get me wrong, any loss of life is horrible. But they're going, and everybody's saying, this is the biggest mass shooting in the history of the United States. They're not talking about the stuff that's happened in Louisiana. They're not talking about the stuff that happened in San Bernardino. Are they actually going to come out and trying to tell us it's the biggest one because they're admitting Sandy Hook was fake? Because those were kids, right? Are kids dying not a little more horrible than young adults dying? I would think so. But the way they're sensationalizing this, it's the worst one ever. And don't get me wrong, what just happened was pretty damn horrible and it's pretty god awful. But don't tell me all this other stuff was real and try to tell me it was the worst one ever. Because if you're going to do that, then at least come out and admit the truth that some of this is staged bullshit to push your agendas. That's all I'm saying. So, anyways, this is pretty much the interesting bits of information that I've seen on this so far. So you guys can go out and look for more. Maybe leave me some comments and leave me some more info. I'm going to try to get back and start posting more videos regularly, guys. But I just wanted to give you out all the little bits of information that I found and just pass it along to you. I'm not going to give you a bunch of leaks. There's thousands of videos and articles. You guys can go and check this out for yourself. But it's pretty damn interesting. And the biggest question that I have is this is basically the same type of deal that happened in Paris, which had them under martial law for hell, I don't know, they might still be under martial law because of that thing. This is what we're looking at going down in Miami now. Are we about to see some martial law taking place? I don't know. But apparently these ISIS guys came out 3 days ago and they let people know they were going to start carrying out attacks. And they even said in Orlando. You know, that's another one of the bits of information that came out. Is anybody shocked that they knew in advance? I'm sure as hell not. But, yep, it's pretty awful. And, bunch of stuff going on here that smells pretty hanky. You know what I'm saying, guys? So anyways, that's just the information I wanted to share with y'all. And, that's it. That's all I got, y'all. I will talk to y'all soon. Y'all take care.